What up, everybody? It's your boy Nautical. Don't even want to go through the whole intro. Just got through watching the Microsoft Xbox One reveal, and I wanted to drop you with my thoughts. If you want to know everything I think about the Xbox One and everything we know so far, I just dropped a video for that recently. Go check that out. I'll put the link in the description. So, this was the most anticipated Xbox conference to date, arguably at least, and this is what we get. I feel like this conference wasn't horrible, but the things that they had in it were not up to what I expected from it. So you can basically tell that I'm not too pleased with it, but honestly, did I think it was gonna be anything but what it was? Kind of thought it would have been a little bit better, but not to the extent that it ended up being. So they announced the name of the new Xbox One Scorpio. It's gonna be called Xbox One X. No problem with the name, that's fine. The only thing I see as a problem is when moms and dads go to the store to go buy it, you're going to be getting people confused between the X and the S. I understand they want to keep them in the same family, but you think people with Wii U's and Wii's had an issue, this is going to be the same exact thing. So honestly, no big problem with the name. It just sits under your TV anyway, so who cares about that? My biggest issue was no first party games shown at all. Nothing new, at least, I should say. They showed pretty much everything that they showed at E3 last year and just regurgitated it this year. Things that we wanted to see more of, we saw less of. Things that we already saw a lot of, we saw more of it. It was like completely out of place for certain things. Like the conference started off real strong. You got the name of the system, which was fine. I didn't like the name, but I don't hate it. Then you went straight into Forza 7, which was a great looking game. Already knew it was coming because it's on a annual basis between this and Horizon. Looked amazing. Rain effects look good. Cars just look good racing around the track. I mean, you can't expect anything more from Forza. And like I said, this is the first time they even said 4K 60. And I think it's the only time they used 60 frames in 4K in the same sentence it was on this game. Wow. And they did the same thing this year that they did the last 2 years. 2 years ago, they brought out a P1. Last year, they brought out a Lamborghini. This year, they brought out a Porsche GT 911. Beautiful looking car. Not here to buy a car though. I'm trying to buy a system. Porsche looks great, don't get me wrong, but that's something that Forza always does, so I'm not going to harp on it too much, but I just don't know if it is something you do at your E3 press conference. So I really enjoyed the Forza section. I just wish they would have toned it down with the car part a little bit, but then they went straight into Metro Exodus, and that looked amazing. Great. 4K textures, 4K gameplay. Don't know if it was running at 60. I highly doubt it was, but just from the gameplay we saw in that, it looked amazing. The open environments, the ambient atmosphere, everything like that looked really good. The enemies are just quick and agile, and you at one point you got your mask smashed and you could barely see, and your visibility was like 15. It's like so low you could barely make out things going on around you, and then you finally got out of that one section of the level and got outside, and the whole world just opened up to you. I really have high hopes for that game. Metro Last Light and Metro 2033 were two of really great games. Really atmospheric, especially Last Light when it came to on PC. That was something they really did well. Just nailed that atmosphere. So I'm hoping this game lives up to that. They also showed off some Assassin's Creed Origins. I'm not really a huge Assassin's Creed person, but this game did look good. It looks like an Assassin's Creed game. It is open world. I do like the time period it's set in, and I'm not gonna lie, I am super proud of them for making the main protagonist a brother in the game. There you go. That's good on you, Ubisoft. I really think that's gonna be a really good game for people that love Assassin's Creed because it's on a biannual basis now. It doesn't come out every year. So this game has been in development for a couple of years now. So I know a lot of people are gonna be expecting a lot of a game like this, but 4K, think it's going to be running at 30. Don't know for sure. Now, this is where the conference started taking a downward spiral for the worst. State of Decay was something that a lot of people were looking forward to. Me personally, the game did not look good. I saw animation problems. When the girl jumped in the back of the truck, it seemed like her facial animations were off. And you know everybody's noticing stuff like this because Mass Effect had the same problem. You don't think they're going to notice that in your lower budget game that just came out? And then when they were closing doors and jumping in cars, it just didn't feel natural. It felt like something that was 1% of what Grand Theft Auto is when it comes to their animations and stuff. And I understand Grand Theft Auto has a budget of like hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars, and State of Decay probably literally only has 1% of that budget. But still, when you're talking about displaying something on the greatest and most powerful system ever made, you're expecting more results from games in that regard. I have no doubt that it's going to be fun to play this game with other people when you're in these worlds. There is a reason that PlayStation 4 fans are super excited about Days Gone. That game has the same premise as State of Decay. Open world, survive at all costs, zombies everywhere. But this game looked so good at it, where State of Decay looked so mad at it. Now, we understand that State of Decay is co-op, where we don't know anything about Days Gone being that way, but you would think a system with more power would be able to at least output at least half of what that game can. So I was a little disappointed in that. Then Phil Spencer came back on stage and said that they had 42 titles to show, which had 22 exclusive to the Xbox One. Then all the indies came forth. And what was crazy about that is mostly all of them said Xbox One launch exclusive. It was like most of all those games were there. And it was nothing wrong with indies, not saying anything with that, but most of us like to play AAA games, and we would like to see at a conference a bunch of AAA games being shown. And we really, the middle part of this actual conference was just full of nothing but that. There were some gems in there, like Ashen was pretty good, then Cuphead finally got a release date. And those are games that I'll definitely want to play, but a lot of those games were like, meh, or like, okay, I can see that. Ori 2 got announced, which is amazing. If you didn't play the first one, it's on sale for $10 on Xbox Live right now. Go buy the definitive edition, because that game is groundbreaking. It was an amazing game. Everybody should try to play it. But that was like one of the lower points for me. And you would think a part where they show off a bunch of games isn't the lower part, but this was, just because it wasn't the type of games that they wanted to speak to when your competitor is going to come out and go the same way, game, but they're going to be showing God of War, Last of Us, Spider-Man, and these are all first-party titles. You know, they're going to probably show Legacy Lost, the Uncharted DLC that's coming out at in August. So you're going to be getting games like that from them, where we're getting these indie games from Microsoft. So nothing wrong with indies. I just think that was a low part of the conference just because of the type of messaging they were giving us for the most powerful console ever made. Now, when they got back to talking about their first-party titles, Sea of Thieves was one of the biggest ones. And that game has already been in the alpha and a beta, I believe. And it's coming out next year, but we didn't already see so much about that game because they did a really long gameplay session of it last year. People were able to play it last year, too. So they put a lot of screen time on that game. Compared to Crackdown, got a trailer. And we haven't seen Crackdown. We didn't see Crackdown at all last year. This year, we only got a trailer, and the game's coming out this year. So it's just weird how that turned out, and I didn't agree with that. I definitely wanted to see the destructible environments in it. They did come out and say that is still in the multiplayer, because all they did was show off the single player today, but everybody wanted to see what this destructible environment was all about, and we didn't get a chance to see any of that because all they did was give us a trailer where they gave us a 15-minute demo of Sea of Thieves, and I just thought that was, not out of place, but just weird because they did that. And then it went even weirder after that. They actually ended their press conference with a third-party title. Now, I'm not going to be mad at the third-party title because that third-party title was awesome. I actually did a video on Anthem, so go check that out. I'll have that video link in the description too. Anthem was the saving grace of this whole thing, because up until this point, Ori and the Metro actual demo probably would have been the highlight of their actual E3. And it's sad that two multiplats are the things that are holding up your conference. And I think that's the problem that Microsoft has right now. I just think they didn't do enough to show that people should want this system, especially at the $499 price tag. And I don't know what they can do to fix that. We do know games are coming next year, but we don't know like what else is coming, what's cooking in the pipeline. It's a real sad day when Microsoft doesn't have any first-party developers. You know, they had Bungie, they lost Bungie. They just lose developers at this point now. It's like they can't keep anything exclusive. Anything that was exclusive is gone now. First party, they close studios, they cancel games. So I don't, you know, it's weird being an Xbox fan, but you know, I love my Xbox because of the friends I have. If all my friends jumped over to PS4, I probably would do it with them. So me personally, I think it was a disappointing conference. I don't think it was horrible. I just think the things they shown, most of it, the bulk of it wasn't for me. Outside of the 3 to 4 games that were really good that they showed at least 38 other ones that I'm like, meh, or I can wait for it to go free with Good Games with Gold. And that's kind of where I sit with it. So will I be picking up an Xbox One X? Yeah, I'll still be picking up one because I do want to play games at a higher fidelity. Those games that are only going to be on Xbox One, like Ori, I do want to play those. But it does give you cause for pause if you do have the ability to play on a high-end PC like I do. But I just have a lot of friends that don't have that capability. And at the end of the day, it's all about friends. That's what's going to make or break your decision to get an Xbox One X. So guys, leave a comment down below. Are you going to be picking up an Xbox One X? How do you feel about the actual game lineup coming out for the rest of this year and 2018? Man, I am a little disappointed, but your opinion may vary. This is your boy Nautical. Like I said, thanks for always watching my videos. Thanks for stopping by. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more videos, hit that notification button so you can know when the next video goes live. And you guys have a great weekend. And go Warriors. I'm rooting for you tomorrow. You better not lose tomorrow, because if you lose tomorrow, you might just get swept in the opposite direction, because I don't know if Cleveland's going to stop if you don't. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.